Welcome back guys to a long overdue Link evolution video. I'm finally getting back into some freedom, so I was able to pick the game back up and finish up some more single player activities, as well as practice some new decks for the new format. Today I'm going to show some Cyber Dragon action, my second favorite archetype. It's one of the only decks I played competitively back in the day, right behind Synchrons. The last time I did play seriously with them was way back when Infinity first came out, and Link Monsters didn't even exist at that time, so I was glad to finally try them out in this game. Currently in the TCG, they pretty much use most of the same cards, except they have one new card, Cyber Dragon Noxter. Unfortunately, he came out after the game finished the database, so he didn't make it into the game, but luckily the deck pretty much uses the same combos. So as you can see in the background, I'm just going to show off some duels against the AI just to demonstrate what the deck can do now. And after some duels are finished, I'll follow up with some ranked duel against Gravekeepers that I actually ran into. Now, thankfully for me, most of the deck's goals and combos remain the same as when I played it. Cyber Dragon Core is still a 3 of. It searches any cyber spell or trap card in the deck. And they've gotten a whole bunch of spell and trap card support through Cyber Revsystem in my hands right now. Cyber Overload, Cyberload Fusion. They got a whole bunch of stuff that I had to learn how to use, and that made Core even more useful. Along with Cyber Dragon Herz, that's an additional target for Machine Duplication. Before, Machine Duplication only worked on Cyber Dragon Core, but now having Herz there, you have a higher chance of bringing out 2 Cyber Dragons from the deck and going into your Link and Exceed plays even quicker. As you just saw at the end of that duel, that board right there is probably one of the best boards you can actually generate with this deck, going first or second. Infinity can negate one effect by detaching a material. Pleiades, as everyone knows, can bounce a card by detaching on either player's turn. And Hip Hoshinigen raises all your light monsters attack, as well as providing some recovery when it's destroyed. Its link markers are the main reason why it's in the deck, along with Qliphort Genius, because Cyber Dragon Seeger only has one link marker that you can use at a time. So don't be afraid to link into a monster that's not Seeger. Usually I will go into Seeger depending if I have like an OTK or something with his effect, but for link markers and summoning multiple extra deck, I can go to Hip Hoshinigen or Qliphort Genius. Now, while I'm talking about Qliphort Genius, I have not used him effectively that much. In this duel, I was trying to use his other effect by summoning 2 monsters to both his link markers to search a level 5 from the deck, but I misplayed heavily and filled up his link marker with Core right at the start of the turn, so I did mess up. What I was trying to do was machine dupe the Cyber Dragons into his link markers and then search another monster from the deck. So we're still going to make an OTK with Cyberload Fusion, as you see here, but that was the initial plan of what I wanted to do. So finally, moving on from these quick duels against the AI, I'm going to showcase the ranked match I had. It wasn't really a match per se, because I was only able to duel the same person twice. Finding a person in rank on the game right now is difficult, and I'm not sure if that's because it's only been released in Japan so far and the rest of the world doesn't have it, but it did take me a while to find a match. Now, the first game I do run into, my opponent goes first. Now, I haven't played OG format in a while, let's call it, so I forgot how ridiculous it can be as opposed to Duel Links, which I've been stuck on for the last year and some change. So I was pretty shocked to run into what I'm about to run into. And Gravekeepers, once I saw the first card played, I knew, alright, this is gonna be trouble. But after he does this and discards my entire hand and gets an unbreakable field built up like that, I'm like, what the heck can I do? I'm looking at the grave, trying to figure out something, but basically I can't special summon anything from the hand or grave. I can't use anything in the grave, and even Cyber Emergency, which has an effect of researching itself or recovering itself from the grave when it's negated, I can't even use that because of Necro Valley. So this is an instant scoop. The only reason I didn't scoop was because I've never actually gotten into a ranked match before, so I didn't know what would happen like right at the end. So I do let this play out and I let him get his race for win, which does take an extra turn because he doesn't have an OTK heavy deck, but no matter what we draw, there's nothing I can do. So we're just gonna pass. He's gonna summon whatever else he wants to with his 2k plus beaters and end this duel swiftly. Now, I didn't realize that ranked duels, they didn't come in match format, so it's literally just one duel and that's it. There's no side decking or anything, and I thought there was, but I didn't have a side deck ready and I didn't have tech cards ready to face any meta decks. But luckily, right when I go back into a ranked match and search for another game, I run into the same opponent. Now, this is probably because players on ranked match are so scarce, so I literally had no choice but to run into the same person. But this time, I learned my lesson and I decided to go first. Now, I did show this combo in one of the AI duels, but now that I'm finally going first, I can actually show what it's like. So I'm definitely going to try to rebuild that board of Cyber Dragon Infinity and Constellar Pleiades, purely for the fact that I get to negate one effect of his and I can also bounce back cards, so that's going to be helpful for Necro Valley and whatever else other nonsense he tries to come up with. Luckily, I do have the hand, so I'm pretty grateful that with the new Cyber Dragon support cards that the consistency of this deck has jumped up tremendously from what it used to be. I think back before Link Summoning came out, I was using Cyber Valley and Machine Duplication to draw 2 cards or stuff like that. I didn't really have all these searching spells and traps, so it's pretty good to have that. Now, my board is set. I know what he's gonna try to do. He's gonna try to search for Necro Valley, his hidden temples, all of his lock cards. He's gonna try to get all that. Now, I do get a little too passive here, and I start to get hesitant with my Infinity Negate, only because like I still don't know most of what his deck can do. Like, I know he searches to get his board set up, but I don't know what other tech cards he's running. So a lot of the time I do hesitate to activate the negation effect, and I actually go this whole turn without negating anything, which I do regret, but luckily I do save myself still. So Necro Valley is pretty harmless against us right now at this moment. On our follow-up turn, I know I have Pleiades, so I can bounce it back to the hand, so that's not too much of a big concern. Now, his monster right here that he normal summons to revive another monster, I should have negated this. This is pretty much the last card I have a chance to negate, but I decided to let it go through because once again, I'm way too passive and I'm paranoid about the 2 cards he has left in his hand. But it turns out it's nothing to worry about. So he's going to swing into Hip Hoshinigen, and unfortunately Necro Valley does cuck us in the fact that we can't get a monster back from the grave with his effect. But it's not too big of a deal because, as I said before, Pleiades can just bounce Necro Valley back. I do use his effect during the end phase though, just so I can get rid of that back row he just set. And at the start of my turn, I can get Necro Valley back to his hand as well, so I can use there's nothing he can do at this point, so we're gonna take the win. But thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for the next one. I'll still be building decks, so later.